Hello, my name is Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer with over 40 years experience in the business and over 30,000 clients worldwide and tens of thousands of students worldwide now as well. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this video, and on this video I just want to speak with you about my love for the divine. My love for the divine, and I'll call this video the Age of Illumination. So welcome to the Age of Illumination. You've come here because you're seeking light on your path and you're seeking to become more of who you really are. You are a map maker. You are a reality creator. You are a dreamer and a dream weaver. And you are on the crest of the wave of evolution. And that's why you found your way to this particular video, because you're ready to take up the charge and ready to lead the way and pioneer into new levels of consciousness for humanity, and to make the maps for others to follow throughout the age of Aquarius. So welcome, and just enjoy the journey here with me, because I just want to express my love here for the divine, my love for God, Goddess, all that is. Illumination means to enlighten the way, to brighten the path ahead, and to make the maps into the future. It is the destiny of the age that we are living through to make the maps and lay the foundation for the new age of Aquarius that is now coming to birth. The year 2000 most certainly began a new millennium, but it also began the new age, the age of Aquarius. The age of Pisces has occupied the attention of the great minds of the last 2,000 years, and it has been an age of devotion. Devotion, abstract idealism, devotion to an ideal. And that ideal is right human relations. It's been an age of devotion to the various religions of the world. Devotion to the plans of God as exemplified in the founders of those various religions, whether it be Moses, Christ, Buddha, Sri Krishna, Muhammad, or any of the others who have founded a religious cult and developed a religious following. The new age of Aquarius differs in many respects to the age that we are just moving out of now. The age of devotion to the ideal that was laid there as the groundwork for that particular religious faith, and the tenets laid down there by the founders of those various religions, and they were blindly adhered to as doctrine and teachings and scriptures. Blind obedience to the tenets of the faith. It was all based on faith and belief. The new age that we are now moving into, the age of Aquarius, is based on intelligent co-creation and cooperation with the plans of God, Goddess, all that is, and co-creation of that plan with them as our partners, to become co-creators and partners with God and Goddess in bringing those plans that have been seen clearly in the higher dimensions down into the world of human living and thinking. Why are we able to do this today and not in the last 2,000 years? Because collectively the intelligence of humanity has not been up to the task And that's why the 2,000-year age of Pisces, the age of devotion, is certainly suitable for the humanity that we were expressing ourselves as during that particular 2,000-year cycle. Now we are intelligent enough and we are rapidly going into a technological age that is absolutely remarkable. And that intelligence that we now are able to express means that we can understand the complexity of what God and Goddess have in mind for humanity during this period of 2,000 years that we're now moving into. It's a very exciting time to be alive. And it's based on understanding of illumination. Now there are many voices of illumination and many aspects of illumination, but what we are going to deal with here are the mystical or hidden tenets of illumination. In other words, the voices of illumination that are beyond view. There is so much more to the mystical of illumination. This age has the destiny to not only trigger the obvious of illumination, but also the salient of illumination. There are many voices of illumination, but we will focus upon that which we will call the contingent of illumination. Contingent voices. The ones, in other words, that matter. The ones that count. The ones that can have far-reaching and profound impact in our lives and in the world. First, there is the voice of clarity. Secondly, the voice of celebration. Thirdly, the voice of exposure. Fourthly, the voice of revelation. These are the voices that are calling for the embellishment of spirit and the brightening of soul. And fifthly, the voice of illumination that is calling for expansion. Not just increasing the volume, but the depth and the scope and the reach, the value and the meaning of a thing. So they are the contingent voices of illumination, which is the age that we are now moving into, an age of enlightenment. However, because we live in a world of duality, it means that these voices of illumination are illuminating the dark energies and the dark forces of the planet, as well as those that seek to bring humanity to the future. Those that seek to drag humanity back into the past and to cling on to old worn-out values and principles and doctrines and teachings and edicts. And we are witnessing that in the world now. So these contingent voices of illumination are illuminating and enlightening and brightening and activating the duality that is here within the body of humanity. And that duality is that which seeks to drag humanity back to the past, as well as the energies and forces that seek to lift humanity into a bright new future. Because you are on the path of enlightenment, because you are part of the new age, because you are a map maker, you are able to see both of these forces working together in the world at the moment. You are witness to the chaos in the world as the forces of the old age struggle mightily to hang on to the glories of their past. You are also witness to the contingent forces that are calling you, the forces of illumination that are calling you to become more of who you really are. The forces of enlightenment that seek and call and beckon you to step up to the plate and help lay the foundations for a world becoming new. And in your way, you have been able to hear that clarion call of the contingent voices of clarity, celebration, exposure, revelation, and expansion. Not only have you heard these voices of illumination, but you have responded to these energies and these contingent forces of illumination by finding your way to my website. Even in the face of darkness, you have been able to dance in the light with the forces of illumination. And here you are, responding to these energies of illumination, these contingent forces of illumination, and taking your place as a magician, as a map maker, as a reality creator, as a conscious co-creator with the divine, to usher in the new age. A magician is simply one who consciously creates their reality in accordance and compliance with their conscious choices, more so than their subconscious choices. So you are coming home. You are coming home to God, Goddess, all that is. Welcome. It's a very exciting time to be alive. Last night on television I was watching a program that showed this particular atheist who was a scientist and speaking very eloquently and very passionately about his love for atheism, and I thought to myself, he is doing a wonderful job, because what he is doing is he is talking against the religions of the world, and he is saying that if the deity is hateful, vengeful, and angry God, then it is a God that he wants nothing to do with. And it's so true. Look what's happening in the world today. It's absolutely incredible what's happening in the name of religion. As all of the religions are in their death throes, and all of the religions of the world are desperately clinging to the past glories of their bygone days, and trying to cling tenaciously to their worn-out doctrines. And as we move into the new age of understanding and illumination and enlightenment, we are coming into our own here in this particular age. It's a wonderful time to be alive. And to think he was questioned, this man, by various people in the audience about their various tenets that they were clinging to, and so on and so forth. And he was very eloquent in the way that he put himself across. And I admired his passion for what he believed in. I was atheist until I discovered astrology. Until my wife dumped a book in my lap on astrology, I was an atheist in my thinking, because I couldn't go along with the idea of a God that would punish someone who had died as a child with no harm at all done in their life, and yet they died, and because they hadn't accepted a particular doctrine or a creed, they went to hell forever. And that didn't seem to me to be right. Whereas a person who had carried out atrocious activities throughout their lifetime, but on their dying bed called for such and such to come into their life and be their saviour, they went into a lifetime of eternity in heaven. That didn't appeal to me, and I couldn't take it that there was a God who was an angry God and a vengeful God and a punishing God. And so I was atheistic in my thinking. And now I have a love for God and Goddess that is incredible. And if I was there in that audience, I would have asked him, tell me if it's just evolution that has developed all of these different species and so on and so forth. What's the evolutionary purpose of our fingerprints? What's the evolutionary purpose of each of us having different fingerprints? And what is the evolutionary purpose of all the flowers, all the petals of a flower? For example, an orchid. If you look at every petal on an orchid, you will find a different distribution of colour. Each petal of the orchid is unique and different. What is the evolutionary purpose of that? And science is so wrapped up in its own importance as far as the things that it has developed, and they've done a wonderful job, make no mistake about that, but they have not been able to create one thing that is alive. And it is absolutely miraculous when you think about it, that tree, and that with all those beautiful flowers on it and all that fruit on it, all grows from a tiny little seed. That is absolutely amazing. This is the way that God and Goddess communicate with us, and they communicate with us in our meditation through our feelings. And when you align yourself with God and Goddess, and align yourself with your future self and your higher self and other inner friends that are there who are in higher states of consciousness than you and wanting to help you become more of who you really are, when you align yourself in meditation with them and you can feel their love, you can let their love in, and you go by your feelings. Oh, look, it's a wonderful life when you start living the life of the Spirit, the life of illumination. So I just wanted to share this with you here, my love for the divine, my love for the plan, my love for what God and Goddess have set up, to think that they can be 100% conscious with you and not lose any one of their conscious creations or conscious communications with all of the other beings from higher dimensions of consciousness beyond the human level altogether. That is absolutely amazing to think that they've set it all up that way. That they can be 100% conscious in your reality with you and wanting to co-create with you, and yet they're not distracted by any of those other activities that are going on in higher dimensions. Oh, so it's just so wonderful to live at this time. And where do you go from here? Well, I'm happy to do your horoscope chart for you, to let you know what sort of test that you have set for yourself in this particular incarnation. That's all written there in your horoscope. Where are all the planets in your horoscope? Where is Mercury, which rules your mind? Where is the moon, which rules your emotions? Where is the sun, which rules your overall personality? Where is Venus, which rules your love nature? Where is Mars, which rules your energy levels? Where is Jupiter, which rules your higher mind? Where is Saturn, which rules your practicality and organizational ability? Where is Uranus, which rules your intuition? And where is Neptune, which rules your spirituality and psychic ability? Where is Pluto, that organizes your whole transformation capabilities? The location of all of these planets in your horoscope, and which houses that they sit in, and which aspects and relationships that they form with each other, tell the tale about how developed you are in from previous lifetimes. You've lived hundreds of lifetimes to get where you are today. Aren't you interested in finding out where you stand on the path of evolution and what tests that you've set for yourself in this particular incarnation? Aren't you interested in becoming more of the giant that you truly are and moving on into higher aspects of yourself and higher capabilities of creation? You are creating your own reality. God and Goddess have given us all that power to create our reality in accordance and compliance with our conscious choice instead of our subconscious choice. If we don't do it consciously, we are doing it subconsciously through our raw materials, through our attitudes and our beliefs, our thoughts and our feelings, and the decisions and choices that those attitudes and beliefs and thoughts and feelings sponsor. And they are our raw materials, and we mould and shape them into the events and conditions of our life through 3 tools. Nobody has any different tools. And those tools are our desire, our imagination, and our expectancy. What do we desire to happen? What do we expect is going to happen? What do we imagine is going to happen? Because that is what will happen. And so it's time now to clean yourself out. It's time now to clean out the dead wood there inside of yourself, those attitudes and beliefs that are now worn out. Those attitudes of not good enough, those attitudes of life as a financial struggle for me, those attitudes of self-image, of low self-esteem and problems with your self-image. You don't love yourself, and if you don't love yourself, you cannot let the love in from another. And so therefore relationships won't work out for you. So it's time now for you to reach and stretch and become more of the giant that you truly are. You are a giant in the making. And it's time now for you to become a partner, a co-creating partner with God, Goddess, all that is, to become all that you can be and more. It's time to unfold that goodness, truth and beauty there inside of yourself. I'm happy to do your horoscope chart for you free of charge and send it to you just by going to my website www.mysteryofsirius.com and submit your birth details. I'll send you your horoscope chart together with 12 beautiful CDs out of my first book, What Really Matters, a book on astrology, meditation and reincarnation. Look, it's a wonderful truth that all of us have got eternal life and that we've all lived hundreds of lives before. It's time now for you to take your place as the map maker that you truly are. And this is spiritual university that you've stepped into here to help lay the maps and to make the maps of illumination for others to be able to follow over the next 2,000 years. So it's a very exciting time to be alive. There's horoscope number 2 that I'm happy to do for you for only $10. Horoscope number 2 tells you where all of your planets are in the houses and what aspect and relationship that they're forming with each other and what all of these different aspects and relationships between these planets mean in your life in terms of the tests that you have set for yourself before you came into this incarnation, for you to take your first breath at a particular time when the planets were in the ideal location to help you become more of the giant that you truly are. So I thank you for your attentiveness here. I'm very, very excited about the way that things are working in the world at the moment, even amidst the chaos of the death throes of all of the religions of the world. We are moving into a new age of illumination. And it's time now for you to co-create with God, Goddess, all that is, and to develop that wisdom. You will never develop wisdom just through experience. And you'll never develop wisdom just through an intake of knowledge. It's through a combination of experience and an intake of knowledge, and out of it synergistically comes a whole that is greater than the sum of the parts. And that whole is wisdom. So I'm just so happy to be able to talk with you and to share with you some of my enthusiasm for the plan and some of my enthusiasm and love for God, Goddess, all that is. So I thank you for your attentiveness here and look forward to working further with you should you decide to go with me. Thank you.